Hey, what's good? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're good. Hope you've been enjoying the content. Today, I'm going to hit you with one of the most important videos. One of the most important. Everything that I drop, everything that I record, everything that I release on my channel, it's all super important. Everything's really important, really valuable. So if you haven't already, go through the past content. After you watch this video, of course, go through the older content, go through the past content, watch a ton of it, learn a ton, and then DM me on Instagram, Emmanuel Walks. But today, it's going to be one of the more important videos. It's really going to be up there. Like I said, everything is important. Everything that I release, I only try and release the most valuable things that I know. But this one here is going to be up there. And when you get to the end of it, you're going to understand what I mean. You're going to understand why I've said this. So get your notepads, get a pen and paper, ready to take notes, grab a coffee, grab a tea, grab a green tea, grab a yerba mate if you've been watching the story recently. Go grab something healthy, a glass of water if that's what you need right now. If you don't get if you're drinking a can of Coke, I can't lie, I'm not giving you permission to watch this video. I don't want you to sit here with a can of Coke and watch this. Or if it's one of those frappes from Starbucks with like 1,000 calories with the cream and the sprinkles and a whole bunch of sugar where it's not even a coffee at this point. Basically a dessert. If you got a can of Coke or one of those drinks from Starbucks, maybe don't watch this video. Tell a lie, we don't discriminate. If you have got that, you probably do need to be watching the video, to be honest. But maybe like let's at least add a glass of water next to it if we can, if possible. Thank you. Enough dilly dallying. Let's get into it. The reason that I say this is going to be one of the most important videos that I've dropped so far is because today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down everything that I've used to stay consistent for the past 12 years. Everything that you need to know to be able to get in shape, lose weight, tone up, fit into the clothes the way you want to, in a consistent and sustainable manner. So everything that I've done over the past 12, 13, even more than that, everything I've done over the years to maintain this lean and athletic physique with consistency, even while working busy corporate jobs, while working in banking, working in consulting, working 70, 80-hour weeks. Here, you're going to learn everything you need to know to be able to replicate and implement these things into your own life so you can slim down. You can start building confidence in your appearance and achieving your fitness goals and looking the way that you want to look. Again, I hope you have that pen and paper. I hope you're taking notes. First thing we're going to do, you're going to know what you're going to do and you're going to know why you're doing it. You're going to know what you're doing and why you're doing it. When I say knowing what to do and why to do it, I'm just talking about your workouts, knowing what workouts you're going to do, what order you're going to do them, how you're going to do them, knowing what foods you're going to eat, what the nutrition side of things is going to look like, what you need to be eating to make sure you're getting to those fitness targets. First thing, hint, if you don't know any of these things, if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing to get to where you need to be doing, DM me active and I'll send you my Simply Lean blueprint for free, which includes a nutrition guide and a workout plan. So you know what you need to be doing in the gym to get to your fitness targets. You know what you need to be eating after that to help you reach those targets. DM me active and I'll send that over to you for free. The reason I say you need to know what you're going to do and why you're going to do it is because with anything in life, when you know what you're going to do, when you know the steps you're going to take to achieve it, it becomes so much easier to go out there and actually do these things. And when it comes to fitness, a lot of people underestimate what you need to do. They think, oh, I'm just gonna go to the gym. I'm just gonna get in the gym and get in shape. I'm just gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go for a run. Or I need to get my fitness together. And you don't realize how important getting your fitness is. You don't important realize how important your health overall is. You probably do realize. People do realize, but the approach to it doesn't seem to match that intensity, that level of understanding of how important these things are. Because when it comes to certain things, if your car is broken, you're not just going to say, oh, I'm just going to fix the car. You know, like, you need to go to the mechanic. He needs to do this. He needs to do X, Y, and Z. Processes need to be put in place. It's not just, oh, I'm just going to open the bonnet and get a toolbox and try and fix it. You know, you need to do certain things in a certain way. When it comes to your fitness or any other big task or big challenge you're going to take on in life, I'm a firm believer the approach you need to take needs to be that of how do you eat an elephant? Apologies to any vegans, vegetarians. I've never eaten an elephant, but you know the phrase, the saying, how do you eat an elephant? And it's one bite at a time. I think any challenge you're going to take on, no matter how big or how small, especially the bigger ones, to be honest, you have to break it down step by step and take that first step, take that first action. And that's how you get to the goals. That's how you start making progress. That's how you start building momentum. And from there, once you've built that momentum, things become easy. The results end up going on autopilot because you're not so much. It becomes less about thinking, oh, I need to lose 30 pounds. How am I going to lose 30 pounds? How am I going to fit into the clothes? It becomes, oh, I just need to do this tomorrow. I just need to eat that tomorrow. which is a lot less. This over here is a big vision, like, and it can be a bit stressful and draining worrying about this versus knowing I just need to get into the gym tomorrow for 30, 45 minutes. Emmanuel's giving me the workout plan. I know exactly what I need to do. I'm just going to go there, tick off a few items. And now this big draining, scary result is just on autopilot. You're just ticking it off step by step because you know what you're doing. And step aside from fitness for a little bit. This is something I implement in every area of my life. When I'm at work, when I'm in office, when I'm working on corporate strategy, and then you're in the office, you're doing the Excel, the emails, all of that, things become a lot easier once you, or my days, I know that the days when the day before the start of the week, I've clearly mapped out what I'm going to do. I've clearly mapped out these are the actions I need to take. Okay, we're working on this big project, but what's my role? What do I actually need to do on a day-to-day basis? And even maybe on the Monday, I don't have that clear vision. Monday, I get through the day and then I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I don't even tick off what I want to do for the Monday and it leaves me a ton of stuff to do on the Tuesday. But on that Tuesday, where on the Monday, I've struggled through, but I've been like, okay, cool. I need to do X, Y, and Z. And this is how I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Even if I don't do any of it on the Monday, I'm happy. I'm relieved and comforted by the fact that I've broken it down and I've been like, okay, cool. I just need to do X, Y, and Z in this way. And even if it is a lot to do on the Tuesday, the fact that I know I have a clear vision of what needs to be done, even if it is time constrained, this feels so much better than the Monday where, okay, maybe I didn't do what I need to do. I have the vision. I know exactly what I need to do. I know exactly what time it needs to be done by. Even if it is a whole bunch of stuff, the fact that I know what I need to be doing, it makes that work day, the Tuesday where there's a shit ton of stuff to be done, there's so many things that need to be done, it's so much easier than the Monday where I didn't really do that much, but I wasn't clear on the vision, I wasn't clear on the priorities. Same thing with this fitness page, same exact thing. You guys see me posting a whole ton of content, doing a whole variety of content, and I don't know what you guys think, whether you guys think it's easy to just get up and look at the camera and talk and say this and say that, or go to the gym and do these workouts. But there are times where posting all of this content, it gets overwhelming, where I'm waking up and I'm thinking, oh, what do I need to do today? What do I need to message this person? Do I need to check on this client first? Or do I need to do this? Do I need to film this? Do I need to reach out to some followers? Do I need to reply to comments? It gets overwhelming if you look at the amount of content I'm posting. But the days where it's not overwhelming is where I just take a step back and I write out that to-do list and I'm like, cool, I'm going to do X, Y, Z in this way, in this order. Once you have that to-do list, even if it is a million steps long, which it really shouldn't be, but even if it is a million steps long, having that clarity on what needs to be done and what I need to do makes it so much easier. And that's how I've been able to, even with this fitness page, stay consistent and keep giving you guys the value. So definitely don't underestimate and don't overlook taking time to know and understand what you need to be doing around your fitness to make sure you're hitting those targets, that goal, that vision that you have in mind. The second thing that you're going to do to maintain consistency is keep things simple. Most of you guys watching this, you guys are busy professionals. You've worked hard on your careers. You've gone to uni, you've done apprenticeships, you've worked, you've grinded, you've climbed the corporate ladder, you've built successful businesses. That's the priority. That is 100% the priority. And to be honest, when it comes to health, you guys do have to recognize where career is the priority. Your health, how you're performing, where you are physically and mentally has a direct correlation with how you're performing in your business, in your career. You might have gotten away with it for a couple months, for a couple years, where you've neglected your health and your career's climbed. But don't get it twisted, it will balance out. These things, life has a funny way of balancing things out. So if you really do want to reach that ultimate level in your career, in your business, you can't do it without at a certain point addressing your health, addressing your fitness. So yeah, I do recognize that, yeah, career business is slightly more of a priority, but the really and truly, it's one and the same because you can only climb so far in your career, in your business, while you're neglecting your fitness, and it will pull you back and it will balance out. So it is a thing where I understand, cool, that's the priority, but you got to look after both. And where I mentioned that that's a priority, the reason I'm saying it's a priority is because when it comes to your fitness, you can't try and address your fitness by you're not going to take 4 years to do a health and fitness degree or all the qualifications and learn about nutrition. You just can't take the time out of your work to do all of these things. When you're in the gym, when you're training, you can't go and spend and commit hours and hours to learning complicated movements, Olympic snatches, learning every technique at the judo gym or at the kickboxing gym. You can't take that time and commit that much time to exercise. So when it comes to the exercise side of things, when it comes to the fitness, You have to keep it simple so it can be sustainable. When you go to work, when you're working hard in the office, you've had a long day, you've done a whole bunch of thinking, you've ticked off all the things you want to do in the office. You've come to the end of the day, and now it's time to get on with the gym work. You can't then go and take a whole bunch of brain power, a whole bunch of mental energy and more mental effort to go and figure out, oh, what am I doing today? How do I do that Olympic snatch? What was the movement? What was the technique we learned last week? It needs to be simple. So after work, after you've committed all that mental energy and effort at work, you've exerted yourself in the office, as I'm sure you guys are doing, because I speak to the people that engage in my content, and honestly, I have a lot of respect for you guys in terms of what you do. I recognize you guys are all working hard in your fields. So once you've exerted all that energy, once you've exerted it, you can't come and start committing a whole bunch of mental energy in the gym. It needs to be simple so it can be sustainable. You don't need to go and figure out, how am I doing that Olympic snatch? Oh, where do my feet need to be? All of the workouts that I do, all of the workouts that I teach, these are simple things. Squats, deadlifts, bench presses. I'm sure whether you've been in the gym or you haven't, you probably have a good idea of these movements that I'm talking about. And keeping it simple enables us to keep it sustainable. So when work finishes, we're not spending a whole bunch of mental energy. Now we're drained, we're tired, we're overthinking. Oh, I can't remember it. You're getting into the gym, you're doing what you need to be doing, and you're getting out. Again, hint, if you don't know these things that you should be doing, if you don't know the simple things that you could incorporate into your workout routine, DM me active and I'll send you my Simply Lean blueprint, which includes a free workout plan and a nutrition guide. And the next part of this is that when it's not simple, it should be easy. Everything that I talk about, everything that I do, it should be either simple or easy. I'm not going to lie to you and say everything's going to be simple and easy. It's going to be simple or easy. Okay? We do a simple movement like a squat, but we're going to make it heavy. And at times when you're doing a heavy squat, it's not going to be easy. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not going to be easy. But if we're not doing those simple things at heavy loads, we're going to be doing easy things. Okay, we're going to be doing easy and achievable things to make sure we're ticking over. I talk about easy zone 2 cardio, and I can't underestimate how important this is in your fitness journey, because it keeps you moving, it keeps you active, it keeps the momentum, and more importantly, doing these easier things help you do the harder things a lot better. And more importantly, these easy things, they compound into significant achievements. I've been able to plank for 17 minutes in one go, in one stretch, 17 minutes. I didn't do this by waking up and being like, oh, I'm gonna plank. I want to do the longest plank I can ever do, and I'm gonna push myself. I don't care how hard it is. I didn't do that. I didn't say that. The way I was able to plank for 17 minutes was by starting off by adding 20 seconds every week. Do the math yourself. If you started today from 0 and you planked, you're going to plank every day. I planked every day, not an additional 20 seconds every day, but 20 seconds every week. So on Monday, I done 20 seconds. For the whole week, every morning, I just planked for 20 seconds. Next week, I upped that to 40 seconds. For that whole week, 40 seconds. The week after, 60 seconds, so on and so on. If you do the maths on that, do the maths yourself right now. Pause the video, do the maths. If you do that for a whole year, you're going to get to at least 12 minutes, because you're going to, even 12 minutes is an understatement, because you're going to do your 20 seconds. You're going to get to more than 60. You're going to add an extra 60 seconds every month. You're going to add 80 seconds every month. Okay. 80 seconds every month for 12 months in the year. That's going to come to what? 960 seconds. Am I right? Am I wrong? I'm pretty sure that's 960 seconds. 960 seconds. What's that in minutes? Let's do the maths. Let's do the maths. I'm not going to edit this part. You're going to see how quickly we can do this maths. 960 divided by 60 seconds. That is 10 minutes plus another 6 minutes. That's 16 minutes you should be at. Okay, that's 16 minutes you should be at if you started planking for 20 seconds today and you just did an extra 20 seconds every week. And I know right now it probably sounds like one of those Forex scams where it's like, oh, if you make 1% every day, you're going to become a millionaire. But the reality is, you tell me why you can't do a 20-second plank today. I don't think there's, and fair play, we respect everybody here. I understand people of different abilities, but I reckon 99% of people watching this can hold a 20-second plank right now. Okay, I would bet good money that 95 to 99% of people watching this can hold a 20-second plank right now. If you can hold a 20-second plank right now, you do that every day this week, Monday to Friday. Take the weekends off for rest. Next week, you can probably get up to 40 seconds, and so on and so on. So you yourself, when I tell you about doing a 16-minute plank, you're gonna think, what's this guy talking about? You're gonna think, who's this guy? Like, get him off my phone, get him off my YouTube. But when you think about, can you do a 20-second plank? It's like, okay, yeah, cool, that makes sense. I can do that. And then you see how keeping it easy every week. I'm not gonna say max out. You don't need to max out every week. You don't need to max out every week. And even when I was doing this, I would add an extra 20 seconds, and I would only do like the extra 20 seconds on a Monday. If on the following week I felt like doing, but when I was getting to like 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes, on the Monday I might do 5 minutes, do 7 minutes. But then on the Wednesday, on the Thursday, I'm only going to do 3 minutes, because you don't need to be maxing out every day, every time you're doing the workout. Whether it's some of these smaller things or whether it's the squats. When I talk about lifting heavy weights and squatting, like people ask me like, "Oh man, are you still squatting? Or how much are you squatting?" And I'm telling them, "Oh, I'm squatting twice my weight." They're like, "Oh, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that to yourself? Like, why oh, that's so much." And it's like, I'm not doing it every time. Like every couple sessions, I'll push myself and make sure I'm working the muscles. But you don't. It's not every single session. You keep it easy so it can be realistic, so it can be achievable. Like I said, everyone watching this, all of us, we're not athletes. We're not trying to become athletes. I don't expect any professional athletes to be watching my page trying to learn how they can get in shape or how they can make improvements. We're all busy people focused on our careers. So when it comes to training, you're not like pushing yourself to your absolute limits. And again, if that's what you're looking for, hey, maybe in another life I'm the one showing you that and teaching you these things. But that's not what we're doing right now. We're teaching people who have priorities in work, in business, how to stay in shape. So just think about that. Just think about it. Think about planking for 16 minutes versus planking for 20 seconds. There's such a disparity in the two. There's such a disparity. And on top of that, the gym sessions that I enjoy the most, the gym sessions that I feel like I've achieved the most in, it's not the ones where I've set personal best. It's not the ones where I've gone in there, I've done a smashing workout, and I come out of there feeling like, yeah, I could actually be an athlete. I could be a pro baller. I could be a pro fighter. You have those sessions where like you just kill it in the gym. Those aren't the ones that I feel most proud about. The ones that I feel the most proud about are the easier ones on those days where I really don't want to go to the gym, and I promise myself I'm going to go there for 10 minutes. I'm going to do a few squats. I'm going to do a little bit on the treadmill. I'm going to do a little bit, maybe a couple pull-ups, and I'm going to get out. Those light ones where I really don't want to do it. Those are the ones where I feel like I've accomplished the most. I have one where I wrote it down afterwards, like, I'm proud of what I've done today, because I didn't want to go into the gym. I was tired as hell. I was so tired, but I still made it to the gym. I done a little bit. I almost fell asleep on the bike. I done a little warm up on the bike. Almost fell asleep there. Done a few squats. Done a little bit on the treadmill, and I got out. Because these ones where you should be, there's not really a good enough excuse for you to not be in the gym. And okay, you might feel a bit more tired, so you just can't go hard. But these ones, those are the ones where you really learn about yourself and you really realize that, okay, cool. And it just helps you understand that you have control over your body. And the reason that you feel so good is because, you just understand that you actually have control over what you're doing, over your actions, over building the body you want to build and living the life that you want to live. And the reason I say you have to keep it easy sometimes is because especially when you talk about consistency and making progress, you got to recognize the body is not a machine. It's not a machine. Even if it was a machine that you control in the exact way that you want, every machine has a limit. Even your car that you think you have full control over, yeah, you drive it to where you want to go. Unless you have a Tesla that drives a self-driving Tesla, which again, you're still going to tell it where you want to take you. You can't just tell these cars to do whatever you want. Like, first of all, they have to drive. If you wanted to, even though you control the car, if you want to fly, you can't fly your car. You can't fly your Tesla. Okay, you're driving a Mercedes, you're driving whatever. You wanna put it in gear 5 and do 100 miles an hour. You can do that, but you're not gonna do it off the bat, and you can't just press the accelerator and go to gear 5. You have to go to gear 1, go to gear 2. Cool. You might jump over gear 3, go to gear 4. Now you're in gear 5. Now you're doing 100 miles per hour. Even though you have that control, you can't always just be in gear 5. Same thing with your body. You can't always be hitting those personal best every single session. And the fourth part, which is just as important as anything, is accountability. When you have someone that's going to hold you accountable to what you set out to achieve, it becomes all the more easier to achieve these things. When you have a coach that you're going to speak to, that's going to give you the plan, that's going to hold you accountable, that's going to make sure you're doing the things that you're going to say, there's no doubt you're going to reach your goals in a quicker, in a more efficient, in a faster manner. And I'm sure you understand how this works, because first of all, you're going to have someone with the expertise who's been there, who's seen people in similar positions to you, and who's guided them through it. If you're curious about some of the people that I've worked with, go through my channel, look at the case studies, look at how we helped Stephen, lose those 15 pounds of body fat and gain those visible abs in just 60 days, you're going to have people that have been there with you and have had that expertise and have that experience to help guide you. A whole bunch of mistakes that you can make by yourself, that's going to be out of the way. And on top of that, even forget about that part of it. It's just about the fact that you're going to have that conversation. You're going to set things out, and you're gonna have a choice to make. You're gonna say, can I actually do these things? Or on that Wednesday evening when you know you're meant to be going to the gym, when it's just yourself and no one's holding you accountable, you might say, oh, okay, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, whatever, I'll just have the ice cream and just chill out. But when you know you're gonna have a meeting with your coach on Friday, on Saturday, and you're gonna have to look at him and have that awkward conversation and say, I didn't do the things that Emmanuel said I should do. Why didn't I do it? Was there a good enough reason? Nah. I know there wasn't a good enough reason. That there is going to be a huge driving factor in how you approach your fitness and the drive and determination that you have to achieve the things that you set out to achieve. And you experience the same thing when you're in the office, when you're at work, when you're delivering for a client. If there's a task that you're doing, it might take you like 3-4 days. If it's just you, if there's not that pressure from the client or from the manager. But when you know you have that catch up, that weekly catch up with your manager, things that would take hours and hours, all of a sudden they get shrunk into hour, into afternoon, because you know you have that meeting with your manager, because you know you're going to have to present it back to the client or explain to your manager why it was done, how it was done, why it wasn't done. You know that you need to explain these things. You know he's going to hold you accountable to achieving these things. If not, you might just be out of a job. But you know he's going to hold you accountable. So the things get done. That drive, it goes up a little bit. The amount of effort and the intensity that you put into the work, it goes up. At the end of the day, you can try and say, yeah, I'll do it by myself, but you have to recognize you're a human being. You're a human being. Check the stats. People work better when you're working together with teams. You already know that if you want to go fast, yeah, do it by yourself. Be super aggressive with your diet. You might lose a lot of weight. But if you want to go far, if you want to build your own 12 years of sustainability, you do it with someone. You do it with a partner. You do it with a coach. If you're curious to know more about how I can help you achieve your fitness goals, DM me, coach, and we can get talking about whether you would be a good fit for my coaching program. If I can actually help you get to where you want to be, get to that place where you're losing weight, you're toning up, you're building confidence, you're taking this confidence into your career to achieve more things, to keep making that progress. Again, I hope you understood. I hope now that you've understood why I said this was going to be one of the more important videos, one of the most important and most valuable videos that I put out there. I hope you've been able to learn something. Definitely drop me a DM, or not even drop me a DM, but just comment below what you think the most important part is, what any takeaways that you have from this, any questions, let me know. It is super helpful so I know which bits I can cut up and put out on the Instagram to help people learn more about fitness, about getting in shape. Super helpful. So please comment below what you think the most important part of this video was. Drop that below. Super helpful. And after that, you know the drill. DM me, coach, and we can get started working together. We can figure out if you're a good fit. And in the meantime, go eat your vegetables. Go eat some spring onions. You know we like spring onions over here. I think it goes great in a salad. Every salad, I think it has to have onions or spring onions. If you think the onions are too strong, add in a bit of Greek yogurt and it's going to neutralize it a little bit while you still have the kick from the onions. So go do that. Enjoy your day. Take care.